She walked in, no evening gown, no red lipstick, just a pair of trousers that fit, and every gaze paused. Not because she looked young, but because she looked clear. Because every step, every gesture quietly said, "I know who I am." Have you ever slipped on a pair of pants and stared in the mirror wondering, why doesn't this feel right anymore? Your body hasn't changed that much, but the feeling has. Maybe the waistband doesn't hug you the way it used to. Maybe you keep adjusting, tugging, fixing. Or maybe it just doesn't make you want to step out the door. If that's ever happened to you, you are not alone. Because after 60, the body changes. But the fashion industry doesn't always listen. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop chasing the pants that are in style and start choosing the pants that are in sync with you. Because when your clothes stop fighting your body and start moving with your energy, you don't just dress better. You live better. You stand taller. You walk steadier. And the woman in the mirror, she's clearer, deeper, still fully herself. In this video, I'm walking you through 6 styles of trousers designed for women over 60, not to make you look younger, but to help you show up more clearly. If at any point you find yourself thinking, yes, that's me, tap that like button, subscribe, and keep walking this journey with me, because there's so much more to dressing well and living well. Let's begin. 1. High-waisted trousers. If elegance had a blueprint, high-waisted trousers would be the first line drawn. There's simply no cut more flattering or more respectful of a woman's body than this one. No need for slits. No need to reveal anything. It just places your shape correctly, gracefully, confidently. And that's something many of us forget after 50. As the body begins to shift, waists soften, midsections carry more ease, shoulders relax, the pants that once obeyed suddenly stop. They slip, they bunch, they make you stand in front of the mirror adjusting, pulling, yet still not feeling beautiful. But high-waisted trousers are different. They don't squeeze you into shape. They don't demand that you be slimmer, sharper. They do the opposite. They hold you. They lift you in both the literal and emotional sense. By resting at the natural waist, usually still the most defined part of the torso, they create a clean, seamless line from waist to ankle. Structured, neat, no interruptions, no distractions. You'll feel it most when you wear a high-waisted pant cut from fabric with subtle structure, matte crepe, refined stretch cotton, or soft wool blends. It doesn't cling. It doesn't collapse. It holds its shape, yet still moves with you. It's what I call gentle discipline, the kind that suits a woman who's no longer striving, but choosing. Picture this. A crisp fall morning, you slip on warm beige high-waisted trousers, tuck in a clean white blouse, and throw on a cropped cream cardigan. You're not trying to stand out. But the moment you walk into that cafe, eyes naturally turn toward you because your silhouette is defined. Your posture is composed, and your presence doesn't need an explanation. And then something subtle happens. You find yourself standing taller. Your shoulders lift. Your chin rises. You don't even notice it, but the pants that elevate you start changing how you carry yourself. Have you ever realized that simply not having to adjust your waistband can shift your entire mood? You walk without hesitation. You sit without worrying about your shirt rising. You look in the mirror and see yourself. Not someone trying to look young again, just a more grounded, more defined version of who you already are. That is real youthfulness, not about looking 10 years younger, but choosing what makes you look exactly like you in your most radiant season. Now, let's talk fabric. Avoid anything too thin, too clingy, too shiny. Those erase your body's natural lines. Instead, go for materials with graceful weight, structured but not stiff, supportive but not tight. Fabrics that hold your form, but still let you move, breathe, be. As for styling, remember this simple rule: sleek on top, structure below. Try tucking a fine knit sweater into your high-waisted trousers. Add a slim belt in nude or champagne gold. Or layer with a cropped blazer that lands just above the waistline, not long, not oversized, just tailored enough to let the waistband shine. And if you're petite, don't shy away from cropped jackets. That contrast will actually elongate your hips and add a lightness to your frame. Shoes, a 1.5-inch block heel is plenty. Or go for pointed flats, for grounded elegance without sacrificing comfort. Now, pause for a moment. Think about the last pair of pants you wore that made you feel like you. Not because they made you look young again, but because they helped you feel present. Clear, sharp, beautiful, whole. If that pair happened to be high-waisted, then now you understand why I started the list here. And if you've never had that moment, maybe it's time to try. Do you own a pair of high-waisted trousers that ever made you feel like yourself again? Share it with me in the comments, because someone reading might just find herself through your story. Now let's move on to the next style, where elegance becomes light and soft, like breath. 2 wide-leg linen pants. Linen doesn't try to be perfect. It wrinkles because it's real. It softens because it moves with time. And maybe, just maybe, linen is one of the few fabrics that truly understands a woman over 60 better than any trend out there. It doesn't try to fix you. It doesn't shape you into a mold. It simply whispers, be yourself, just lighter, softer, easier to breathe. Wide-leg linen pants don't make you look smaller. They don't tug you back into the body you had a decade ago. They don't squeeze the parts of you that have gently changed. What they do is make you feel light on your feet, as if every step is carried by air, as if the weight has lifted, not just from your outfit, but from your day. And the truth is, after 60, isn't that what we're all looking for? Not a redo of ourselves, but something that lets us fully show up without bracing, without forcing, without pretending. Good linen is often woven from pure flax, the kind that softens the more you wear it, the more you wash it, the more it learns the shape of your life. But choosing linen isn't just about choosing a fabric. It's about choosing a state of being. Pick trousers with a medium-high waist, just enough to frame your midsection without compressing it. Look for a soft pleat or two at the front to create natural movement while maintaining clean lines. And the color? Think of shades that breathe: ivory, pale olive, soft stone gray, warm oat beige. Tones that reflect light gently, that brighten your complexion, and especially flatter mature skin, which is at its most luminous in soft, calming hues. The strange beauty of linen is this: the rougher it looks, the softer it feels. The simpler it appears, the deeper it resonates. When you slip into a pair of wide-leg linen trousers, you feel grounded, in the truest sense. Your legs aren't bound. Your skin isn't pressed. Your shape isn't controlled. Instead, there's space. There's breath. There's a quiet ease in simply existing in your body, not battling it, not hiding from it, not performing around it. And here's what's magical. When you wear linen, your pace changes. You move slower. You sit with more grace. You reach for shoes not because they're tall, but because they're kind. Linen slows you down, but never makes you late. It simply brings you back to the natural rhythm of seasoned womanhood, unhurried, steady, and aware. Try this. Pair ivory linen trousers with a soft cotton tee, gently tucked in. If the weather is cool, add a long-line knit cardigan and warm taupe. If it's sunny, go for a loose V-neck linen blouse in a matching tone, untucked, relaxed. No belt needed. No loud accessories. The fabric is the statement. And if you're petite, don't fear being drowned in wide-leg linen. The secret is in the drop and the weight. Choose a linen with enough body to fall down, not out. The pants should skim just to the top of your feet, not drag. Avoid ultra-flared legs or low rises. You don't need to wear big. You just need to wear right. Softness doesn't make you invisible. In fact, it helps you be seen more clearly because you're not fighting your body. You're walking with it, gently, intentionally. And somewhere in your day, maybe while sitting on the porch with a cup of tea, as sunlight kisses the folds of the fabric, you'll realize, I didn't have to try to be beautiful. I just needed to feel right. Right fabric, right shape, right version of yourself, calm, present, unforced. Have you ever worn a pair of linen trousers and felt like you were breathing again? If so, share it with me in the comments. Because maybe, just maybe, it wasn't really about the pants. It was about you, a version of you that once felt free, felt open, felt alive. and is waiting to come home. We'll move on now to the next style, where structure meets confidence and elegance never fades. 3. Slim ankle pants. They don't shout. They don't sparkle. But when you stand in front of the mirror wearing them, you feel gathered, neat, composed, ready, no need for accessories, no need to fuss. You're not flashy, but there's a quiet clarity in the way you stand. Slim ankle pants, that simple tapered silhouette stopping right at the ankle, may not be love at first sight. They're not as breezy as linen, not as flowy as knit, but they hold something rare, something women over 60 often long for: definition without effort, structure without strain. Let's be clear right away, these are not leggings, and they're definitely not the second skin skinny jeans of our 30s. Slim ankle pants follow the shape of your body, but only just enough. They don't grip. They don't sag. They trace the lines gently, then stop right where the ankle begins, that last graceful pause before the foot takes its step. And that's the beauty. This just enough makes them feel like a new kind of uniform for grown-up elegance. They tidy up the hips. They subtly lengthen the legs. They softly lift the tummy. But most of all, they make you look like you're ready, even if all you've done is throw on a plain blouse. Styling them doesn't need to be complicated. A crisp white button-down, maybe in structured cotton, maybe soft poplin, and you've got a look that says professional, but never cold. On sunny days, swap in a sleeveless vest-style top, clean lines, a little edge, and perfect for showcasing those grounded, steady shoulders that come only with time. And when the air turns cool, try a cropped sweater that hits at the waist. The contrast between the short top and the streamlined pants creates an elegant optical lift, pulling the eye upward, stretching the frame. And because these pants end right at the ankle, your shoes will speak. Go with a soft leather loafer when you want to feel planted, comfortable, grounded, graceful. Try a 1.5-inch block heel if you're in the mood for a subtle lift. Or if flats are your favorite, but you still want sharpness, pointed toe flats will always do you justice. As for color, stick with timeless neutrals, black, navy, soft gray, or cool ivory. They pair with everything, but more importantly, they mirror the calm you carry. They don't announce, but they arrive quietly yet unmistakably. And then there will come a moment, maybe in a hallway, maybe at a cafe, when you realize you're no longer trying to be noticed. You're no longer seeking details that make people look. You just stand, and the space adjusts to your presence. Because you're not here to shine. You've become the light. That's the subtle brilliance of slim ankle pants. They don't change you. They don't sell fantasy. But they help you show up more clearly, sharper in silhouette, more intentional in image, and, surprisingly, lighter in mind. And if you've always felt that something felt off when getting dressed, that no matter how carefully you picked your outfit, it still felt a bit messy, a bit uncentered, you might just be missing one thing: intentional neatness. Have you ever worn a pair of perfectly fitted slim ankle pants and suddenly felt your entire day fall into place? Not chaotic, not cluttered, just aligned. If you felt that, share it with me. Because maybe, somewhere out there, another woman is waiting for the same quiet hint to rediscover what feeling right truly means. And if you're searching for a pair of pants that balance comfort with polish, that hold you without holding you back, then stay with me. Because the next style is where ease and elegance finally meet. 4. Soft knit pants. Who says knit pants are sloppy? Maybe they've never seen a woman who chooses the right fabric, the right fit, and walks into a room with a quiet kind of power. No shine, no sparkle, no effort to impress, just rightness. And that alone tells the room, this woman loves herself deeply and with intention. Soft knit pants have long been mislabeled house clothes, sleepwear, or worse, lazy. But the truth is, they're only lazy if you let them be. When chosen well, from fabric to fit, knit pants are more than just convenient. They become a quiet form of elegance. The first thing to understand is this: structure is everything. The right pair of knit pants will never have a flimsy waistband. It's firm but not tight, supportive but not restrictive. Look for ribbed knits with some weight. Try Pont with subtle stretch or a viscose blend that drapes, not slouches. The hips and legs should fall in a straight, clean line. Not cling, not flare, but simply follow the length of your body with graceful control. When you put on a well-cut pair of knit pants, you'll feel something unexpected, like being gently held by your clothing. Not squeezed, not shapeless, but a kind of mindful comfort, like the way you care for yourself when no one's watching. Not rushed, not careless, but real, deliberate care. Now, to keep knit pants from slipping into that just threw it on zone, how you pair them matters. Instead of grabbing a wrinkled tee or anything too casual, try a silk or fine cotton blouse, partially tucked in front. Just a gentle curve at the waist, enough to suggest shape without trying to sculpt. On cooler days, throw on a structured knit cardigan. Think cashmere, alpaca, or firm cotton blends. A cropped crewneck cashmere sweater is also perfect, not just for the softness, but for how it matches the mood, gentle, but full of quiet value. Shoes? Knit pants are versatile, but each choice tells its own story. A crisp white sneaker says modern and grounded. A soft leather loafer says mature and effortless. And a pointed toe mule, that's a little wink of pride, a whisper that says, I'm comfortable, and I'm still stunning. Here's a tiny tip, but an important one. Don't let your knit pants run too long. When they hit the floor, they pull your posture down with them. Instead, aim for a length that skims your ankle or just brushes the top of your foot. It keeps the look relaxed but still polished. And if you've always thought knit pants were just for home, maybe you've never worn a pair that's soft and structured, the kind that makes you want to stand a little taller. Pour yourself a cup of tea, not for company, but because you deserve to be treated well too. When you wear a pants that's both gentle and defined, you're not just sending a message to the world, you're sending one to yourself. I'm allowed to be at ease. And I'm still worthy of beauty. That feeling, calm, whole, grounded, is a kind of beauty no fabric alone can give. It has to be felt. Have you ever worn a pair of knit pants that made you not want to take them off? Not out of laziness, but because they made you feel soft and strong at once. Share that with me. Because maybe, just maybe, another woman is waiting for a reminder that she can be gentle and still sharp. In the next part, we'll return to an old friend, denim, but in its grown-up, refined form, no longer chasing youth, but standing firmly in confidence. 5. Straight-leg jeans. They say denim is for the young, but the truth is, it's simply not for those who haven't yet figured out who they are. Because once you've lived through the years of proving, chasing, becoming, you start to see the real charm of a woman has little to do with what she wears, and everything to do with how deeply she understands herself when she wears it. Straight-leg jeans, the quiet, confident cut, are the clearest expression of that knowledge. Not tight, not sloppy, not loud. They simply go straight, like the woman who walks through town without checking who's watching. The power of these jeans lies in their restraint. They don't hug every curve, but they don't hide the body either. They don't scream for attention, but they don't disappear. The leg runs clean from thigh to ankle, long enough to elongate, loose enough to let the hips breathe. And because they keep a touch of denim's signature firmness, your steps feel more grounded. Your stance feels supported. There's subtle structure, and in that, confidence. Now let's talk about fabric. Skip the ultra-stretchy stuff. Too much elasticity means the jeans lose shape, and you'll spend your day tugging and adjusting. Instead, look for mid-weight denim with real form, like those timeless jeans from the 80s, refreshed with a modern cut. No flash, no fuss. Just the kind of silhouette that remembers who you are and lets you stand in it. Waistline? Both mid-rise and high-rise can work, depending on your height and proportions. Mid-rise gives that classic comfort. High-rise defines your waist and visually lengthens the legs. But skip the low-rise. Not only does it expose the lower belly, but it also throws off your proportions. A good pair of jeans starts at the waistband. No gaping, no slipping, no awkward space at the back when you sit. And if you've ever been drawn to distressed washes, ripped knees, rhinestones, or flashy embroidery, maybe it's time to walk past that phase. Because you no longer need a pair of jeans to make you young. You need a pair that makes you clear. And trends, they only blur that clarity. Keep it simple. dark indigo, or clean mid-tone blues. No fading, no rips, no fringe, no slogan stamped across the seat. That refined simplicity, that restraint, is what reveals your essence. How to style it. A softly tucked white shirt, a puff-sleeve blouse with vintage charm, a tailored beige blazer that holds its shape. Because when denim fits right, you don't need to elevate it. You just need to pair it with pieces that reflect your self-awareness. And then one afternoon, you'll throw on your deep blue straight-leg jeans, a white cotton top, and chocolate brown loafers. No heavy makeup, hair casually tied back. And as you walk out the door, you won't be trying to leave an impression, but somehow you will. Because a woman in her 60s wearing the right jeans isn't trying to hold on to the past. She's giving her present a sharper, clearer frame. You're not chasing your younger self. You're living more fully in who you are now. And jeans, when chosen well, are simply one more way of saying it. If you've ever owned a pair of jeans that made you feel just right, for no occasion, for no one else, just because, share that memory with me. Because someone out there might be looking to feel at home in their own skin again, and your story might be the first step back. Next, we'll close with a style that feels like dancing, where softness becomes a presence no one can ignore. 6. Palazzo Pants. Some pants aren't just for wearing, they're for arriving. As if the moment you step into a room, the air itself shifts. No words, no performance. Just your presence, soft, flowing, grounded in wide, graceful legs. And suddenly, people slow down. They notice, they listen. Palazzo Pants, wide leg, fluid, whisper light, don't try to impress. But every step you take adds a note to a quiet rhythm. Delicate, but unforgettable. They aren't like slim trousers that frame your shape, or structured denim that holds you in. Palazzos are a silent declaration. They fall, they ripple. They move with you, never clinging, never restricting. And somehow, in that freedom, you become more visible than ever. Each shift of fabric creates a wave. Each turn leaves a trace. And most importantly, palazzos are not for those still uncertain of who they are. Because palazzo pants don't make a silhouette. They magnify what's already within. To wear palazzos well, start with the fabric. Chiffon with a smooth lining for daytime grace. Soft satin for glowing evenings. Light crepe with a bit of weight, perfect when you'll be walking, but still want to glide. Avoid anything stiff or heavy. That would rob the pants of their soul, which is to float, not force. Palazzo pants aren't for errands or rushing through the day. They're for slow afternoons with jazz in the background, for garden lunches with linen napkins, for spontaneous plans when you want to show up as yourself, but in your most artful form. Styling, let the pants do the moving. Keep the top grounded. Think soft-fitted blouses that hug the waist, made of satin or light cotton blends. A sleeveless silk top that lets the shoulders speak. If the pants have a high waist, add a slim belt, not just to define your shape, but to gently draw the eye inward to that calm, steady center you carry. And, because palazzos already dance, your accessories can whisper. Small earrings, a delicate bracelet, makeup that glows like a late afternoon sun, a dusting of blush, a rosewood lip, hair pulled back softly or left to fall straight, no drama needed. The elegance is in how much space you leave for yourself and for others. And then it happens. You walk down a quiet hallway, the fabric brushing your legs, the light catching the folds, and suddenly you're dancing with yourself. No music, no audience. Just you moving to your own rhythm. That's what palazzos do. They let you fill the room, not with noise, but with presence. Have you ever worn a pair of pants and felt like you didn't need to ask to be seen? You didn't need to earn your space? You were already there, light but anchored, soft but unmistakable. If you felt that, share it. Because another woman may be waiting to remember that she no longer needs to perform. She only needs to arrive, and everything else will follow. So there you have it, 6 styles, 6 ways to dress beautifully. But more than that, 6 gentle reminders that after 60, fashion isn't about expression anymore. It's about returning to the woman you've always been. And yet, one truth remains more important than choosing the right pants. It's knowing when to let go. Because sometimes what's dimming your light isn't that you haven't found the perfect fit, but that you're still holding on to clothes that quietly make you disappear. In the next part, we'll begin a soft but powerful cleanse. 3 types of pants you may think are harmless, but are quietly stealing your elegance. 3 types of pants to let go, gently but clearly. Some pants aren't wrong. They once fit, once made you feel comfortable, even confident. But then one day, you put them on, look in the mirror, and something's missing. You, not because your body changed too much, but because you have changed. You've grown, settled, and become quietly, undeniably elegant. So today, we're not criticizing any piece of clothing. We're simply letting go of what no longer serves us, of those harmless-seeming pants that may be quietly dimming your shape, your presence, your energy. 1. Baggy, shapeless knit pants. When comfort makes you disappear, maybe they were your go-to for slow mornings with tea, or for winding down after a long day. But the truth is, when pants lose their shape, you end up wearing a void. Sagging waistbands, wrinkled backs, dragging hems, fabrics that fall with no structure. They erase the outline of your body. And, while you're still present, you become swallowed by your clothes. Comfort matters, but defined comfort that still lets you be seen is the true beauty of maturity. Swap gently. Opt for soft knit pants with structure, a well-shaped waistband, slight vertical hold in ribbed knits, ponte, or viscose blends. Pair them with silk blouses or finely knit sweaters, and suddenly you can still breathe freely, but you no longer vanish in your own reflection. 2. Low-rise distressed jeans. When the past holds you back, maybe you once loved them. The low waistband made your belly feel flatter. The ripped knees gave you edge. The faded wash felt trendy. But at 60, you don't need to chase youth. You've entered something far more powerful: self-possession. Low-rise jeans pull everything downward. Your hips slide, your shirt lifts, your midsection gets exposed. Add distressing, rips, or flashy details, and suddenly you look like someone trying to stay in a moment that's already passed. Elegance doesn't come from clinging. It comes from stillness, from a woman who knows what she's lived through and chooses what she wants to carry forward. Swap gently. Try straight-leg jeans with a mid or high rise. Go for sturdy denim, not overly stretchy. No holes, no bleach spots. No slogan stamped on the back pocket. Just a clean, structured, timeless silhouette. Because your life now isn't flashy, it's strong. 3. Loud prints, neons, oversized florals. When your pants speak louder than you, there's nothing wrong with loving color. No rule says women can't wear florals. But there's a fine line between being seen and being replaced by your clothes. Pants with oversized patterns, neon hues, or chaotic prints often pull focus. The eye sees them, not you. And you, after everything, deserve to be the center of your own appearance. When you walk into a room, they should remember your gaze, your calm, your presence, not the shouting blooms on your calves. Swap gently, choose refined tones. Olive, warm browns, deep navy, smoky gray, ivory. If you love patterns, go subtle. Soft florals, faint stripes, muted motifs. And if you still crave boldness, let it live in a scarf, a shoe, or even your lipstick. You can shine, but now it's a curated glow from someone who knows her worth. And perhaps now you understand. Elegance doesn't come from keeping everything. It comes from knowing what to release. A pant can be beautiful, but if it makes you look smaller, cluttered, or not you anymore, then maybe it's time to fold it up, say thank you, and gently place it aside. No regret, no drama. Because when you let go of what no longer fits your soul, you make space for what does, what's lighter, clearer, deeper. That is the real beauty of growing older, not just dressing better, but seeing yourself more clearly and having the courage to choose again. So tomorrow, when you open your closet, don't just ask, "What should I wear?" Hit ask instead, "Who am I becoming? And what part of me do I want the world to see today?" Because elegance doesn't come from age or size, it comes from choice. And every pair of pants, when chosen well, can quietly say to the world, "I'm still here," visible, grounded, and very much me. If any part of today's message felt like coming home to yourself, share it. Because when one woman chooses clearly, she helps another woman be seen too. And if this message touched something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a friend. Because elegance is not a secret. It's something we pass on. At any age, but especially after 60.